Here's the second secret. In nearly every long-term relationship, one partner consistently puts more energy into the relationship than the other partner. We call this person the initiator. Over time, this imbalance causes the person who puts more energy into the relationship, the initiator, to feel tired and unappreciated. The solution is not to focus on getting the other partner to change, but for the initiator to make a commitment to his or her creativity. In practical terms, the initiator must do something purely for self-expression, not for others, for at least 10 minutes a day or for 1 hour per week. More is preferable, but major change starts to happen with at least 10 minutes a day or 1 hour per week. This act of creative individuation by the initiator often inspires change in the other partner.
If you want a vibrant long-term relationship, one in which you feel close as a couple and creative as individuals, you've got to do one big thing first. You've got to take your attention away from fixing the other person and put it on expressing your own creativity. Even an hour a week of focusing on your own creativity will produce results. More will often produce miracles.
Nothing will sap your vital energy faster than squelching your creativity. Often couples stifle their individual creativity in order to focus on fixing or changing the other person. Since this seldom produces tangible results quickly, they devote more energy to the other person as a fixer-upper and less to their own individual creativity. When results are not forthcoming, they complain about the other person to third parties. They enter a dangerous cycle of complaint that has addictive properties. The more you do it, the more things there are to complain about. Ultimately, this leads to a dissipation of creative energy and inner despair.
By contrast, fully creative people don't really have time for complaint. Even if you're not fully engaged in creativity, even as our research indicates, if you're only doing an hour a week of creative expression, you will see quantum enhancement of vitality with every increase in creative self-expression.
Here's what creativity looks like in a lasting love relationship. Both people are committed to exploring their own individual creative paths. At the same time, each person is committed to supporting the other partner's full creative expression. You're devoted to your own creative flourishing and the simultaneous flourishing of your partner's creativity. You don't waste your time and burn up your creative energy in repetitive power struggles. You rechannel the energy that you used to waste in power struggles into deeper creative exploration. You communicate in ways that produce harmony and passion so that the relationship itself becomes an ongoing catalyst for the full expression of both partners' creativity.
Here's the first thing everybody needs to know about creativity. If both people in a relationship are not acting on their creative commitment to themselves, they will create relationship conflict to distract themselves from the creative potential that's languishing inside them. Your energy level will drop if you're not being true to your own creative urges. Ultimately, you begin to feel dull and dissatisfied. That's only part of the problem, though. The bigger problem is that when people feel dull and dissatisfied, they tend to blame the relationship for the problem. They think the relationship is the source of the boredom and dissatisfaction, rather than the lax inner commitment to creativity. Then each person tries to get the partner to change so that boredom will be replaced by liveliness.
These dramas are only resolved when each person takes responsibility for finding the source of creativity inside themselves. The partnership flourishes as each person takes steps toward expressing that creativity.
The biggest barrier we run up against in counseling couples about their creativity is simply this. People don't think they're creative. They've defined creativity too narrowly. They don't think it's within their power to be creative. They associate creativity only with traditional artistic expression, such as painting or dance or music. If you've fallen into this trap, It's urgent to understand that creativity has an infinity of expressions. The art of resolving the creativity problems in relationship lies in each person's discovery of his or her own tools. For one person, it can mean 10 minutes a day of spontaneous wild dance. For another person, it might be a cup of tea and a half hour of solitude for meditation.
When people aren't expressing their own creative potential, they focus blame on the relationship. Another way to say it is, when you find yourself complaining about your relationship, the problem you're complaining about is usually not the real problem. The real problem is that you aren't opening up to your own personal creativity.
Many people feel they're not creative, but we've found this to be absolutely untrue. It just takes practice to summon forth your creativity. We've been amazed at how little time it takes once you're open to the possibility that you have huge reservoirs of creativity within you.
Ultimately, a lasting love relationship is about the liberation of your inner genius. Most of us don't realize it, but we're harboring a genius inside us. Our inner genius wants very much to be expressed. If you will liberate your genius and give it a voice, before you know it, you'll be feeling more vibrant energy than you ever imagined. Your close relationships will directly benefit from your decision to open up to your genius.
Your journey to greater creativity begins when you make a sincere commitment to it. Here's a commitment to circulate through your consciousness. I commit to the full experience and expression of my creativity, and I commit to supporting the creativity of the people I love.
Here's a simple action plan to put the second secret to work in your life. Take 10 minutes a day for your own creative practice. Make this your time for your creative calisthenics workout. You'll be developing your creative muscles with practice. The nature of this practice stretches your beliefs about what you can do, what your limitations and possibilities are, and how creative you can be. It's important for this time to be non-useful. It's not intended to produce a product or anything that anyone else could judge as useful or valuable. It's intended to bring you directly into your creative flow. Schedule this time in your calendar. Most people find if they put their creativity first, that is, make it their first daily priority, the rest of the day flows with greater joy. If you wait until you've completed your work or your household responsibilities or childcare, the wellspring dries up. You may be surprised to find out how little time it takes to renew and develop your genuine creativity if you do it first.
What could you use to practice your creativity? Here are some possibilities. You could use art materials to make collages or finger painting. You might put on your favorite music and let your body move. You could combine making unusual sounds and using your non-dominant hand to write. Or maybe go into the kitchen and make something using ingredients that never go together. Or maybe open a journal and write down whatever words pop into your mind. Choose something you love to experience that you don't usually find time for during the busy day.
Notice that we're not suggesting start your symphony, write that poem, or complete that novel. The creative practice is just that. It's practice. You're learning to listen to your own creative voice and to cultivate its expression.